Hi everyone! Today we're tackling handmade croissants. Please don't be intimidated. If I, a novice in pastry making, can get these results the very first time, then you can too. The process is long but straightforward. So let me share some proven techniques in making these truly mind-blowing, buttery, crispy croissants right in your kitchen. First, let's make the dough. Mix lukewarm milk, water, and yeast together. Add sugar and salt to the bread flour, and then with the dough hook attached, turn on the mixer and pour in the yeast mixture. Mix on speed 1 for 2 minutes, and then increase the speed to 2 and knead for another 7 minutes. At this point, the dough should be hard and not sticky. Form it into a smooth ball with your hand, and it's ready to be rested overnight in the fridge. I cut a cross in the top of the dough to make it into a square shape so it's easier to roll the next day. Now let's make the butter sheet. Slice the butter and place them in between 2 pieces of parchment paper. Seal the edges of the paper and start rolling. Roll until the butter is even in thickness. You'll end up with a large, thin sheet of butter. Put this into the fridge as well. The next morning, take out your rested dough and start rolling. Stretch it until you have a large sheet of dough. Don't worry if it's getting hard to stretch. We'll be resting the dough again before the next step, which will be encasing the butter and starting the lamination process. Once it's rested for 30 minutes or more in the fridge, take out your dough sheet and the butter and roll the dough out big enough to encase the butter sheet. Carefully peel the parchment paper away from the butter and place it in the center of the dough. Wrap the dough around the butter, making sure every inch of the butter is covered. At this point, depending on the temperature of your home and how long you've worked on this dough, the butter may be too soft to start rolling. If that happens, just wrap it up and put it back into the fridge to chill. This does 2 things. 1, it allows the gluten to relax, and 2, it allows the butter to harden, so you can be confident that when you do start rolling and doing folds, that the butter and dough will stay separated. A clear separation of the butter and the dough is key to achieving these layers. So work fast when handling the dough and keep the temperature cool. And when rolling out the dough, use short press down motions as not to spread the layers of butter around too much. Also, dust just enough flour to make sure that the dough does not stick. And wipe away any excess flour before doing any folds. In total, you will need to do 3 folds for a classic 27-layer croissant. For a breakdown of the steps and timeline and how to manage, please check out my blog at jansfamilytable.com for the detailed written recipe. Once you have done 3 folds and the dough has rested one last time, let's roll it out and shape the croissants. Roll it out as even as possible into a rectangle. And with a pastry or pizza cutter or a sharp knife and a ruler, trim the edges so it's easier to divide. Then evenly divide the rectangle into triangles. Here I got 8 full-size triangles, 2 smaller end pieces, and enough trimmings for a large-size laminated pastry. Now simply roll each triangle from the larger end to the tip, and voila! A crescent-shaped croissant is made. Try not to handle the dough too much at this point because the layers are thin and the butter is getting softer and softer. Shape all the croissants fast and place them on a baking tray to proof. We want to slowly proof these croissants in a warm, draft-free, and preferably moist place. I put them in my oven with the lights on. It takes between 2 to 4 hours to proof, and when they are ready, they will jiggle when you gently shake the baking tray. Apply egg wash on top of the croissants carefully as to avoid the exposed layers. And into the oven it goes. And when they come out, resist the urge to tuck in straight away and let them cool for a few minutes. The exterior should be bronzed and crispy. The layers upon layers inside will be chewy and full of flavor because of the long fermentation process. Not to mention all that glorious butter. It has done its job of making these decadent and indulgent in the best way. You'll see, these promise to be the best croissants you will ever eat because you were there every single step. For the motivated, I hope I've inspired you to give this a go. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe for more. As always, check out my blog for the full written recipe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.